we have to talk about the main event, Statlander versus Mina Shirakawa. A really fun match, and once again, Kris Statlander won a match using Wheeler Yuta's move. After the match, Wheeler Yuta came out, started celebrating with Kris Statlander. Harley Cameron started to get a little bit scared, especially when all the Death Riders came out. Statlander joined the Death Riders for a couple of moments before turning on them, taking down Wheeler Yuta. He was completely and utterly shocked. Marina Shafir went to try and get her. She missed. Kris Statlander gave the middle fingers to Jon Moxley, escaped. Her and Marina Shafir brawled into the back, and then Darby Allin came out with a flamethrower. He came immediately after Jon Moxley and said, "Hey John, at Wrestle Dream, an I Quit match." Look, I'm thrilled, first of all, Statlander is not joining the Death Riders. I'm really glad that's not happening, because the Death Riders needs to end, and Darby Allin needs to be the one to end it. I hate the fact Daniel Garcia is now actually with the group. This late into it, nobody should be getting added. Only people should be leaving. But my even bigger issue with this was Chaos. Jon Moxley got burned basically alive a few days ago. How on earth is he on Dynamite without even any bandages over his face? Come on, make him look like one of those mummies or whatever, right? Make him look like he's out of Egyptians' times and he's been buried underground for hundreds of years. At least do something if you're going to have him on the show. Instead, this man's seemingly just immune to fire.
Yeah, they should have done something like, make him look cremated like the Fiend, when he came back at WrestleMania. Or something like that. But yeah, hey, if anyone that knows how to no sell it will be Jon Moxley. I really feel like this guy is just phoning it in, and I'm getting tired of it now. This Death Rider thing needs to end. And they're relying on Darby Allin to be the guy to do it. I know they've been waiting to do this before ever since he wanted to climb Mount Everest. But yeah, I'm tired of Death Riders. And another thing as well, I just love the fact how they pretty much acknowledge how much of a simp Wheeler Yuta is, because he was the only one that got clotheslined. And then Kris Statlander, instead of attacking Jon Moxley or even Marina Shafir or Claudio, she just flipped the bird at Jon Moxley and then ran off. Like she only attacked Wheeler. Like no one rates Wheeler, and rightly so. I hate that guy. Anyway.
What did he ever do to you?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. He's a simp. I hate. It's just there. Like he needs a shave, and he looks like he needs a bath. That's what he looks like. Anyway,
he's an Ewok.
Comment, people in the comments. Do you agree? Don't agree? Well, just let me know. But yeah, just regarding the match. Rhea Ripley versus Timu Asuka. It was a great match. It was fun for what it was. It was it was a worthy main event. Obviously the little tease of the heel turn. I knew it was too good to be true. Like you said, more people should be leaving than actually joining. I haven't been a much of an AEW watcher for a while, so when I saw Daniel Garcia there, I was like, he looks so out of place already. Like, why is he in this? But yeah, it's hopefully it's a short-term thing. And we got an I Quit match at
Wrestle Dream.
So we got that. Jon Moxley is probably gonna no sell that as well. I don't know what do you need to? He's like Michael Myers. He just won't go away, and it's the annoying version of Michael Myers. But yeah, I'm here for it. Darby Allin is gonna put himself through hell. There's gonna be a lot of WTF moments. I'm here for it. I hope Darby Allin finally puts away Jon Moxley and put an end to Death Riders, because I'm sick and tired of them. But yeah, good ending for that.
Went on a 5-minute rant and then went.
I'm sorry.
I completely agree with you though, Chaos. But here's the thing: my pitch for weeks and weeks since Daniel Garcia joined them was to do a blood and guts match, and in that match have Daniel Garcia turn on Moxley. So he's basically an inside agent. They've all agreed, all the baby faces, because he was on the team of baby faces fighting the Death Riders. Hey, we need somebody to get in there. But now that he's dropped Shibata on his head, he's done all this dreadful stuff to Darby Allin and all that. while I do still think there's a genuine possibility of that happening, I mean, if it happens at this point, it's a complete joke because he's done so much bad stuff anyway. If he's an inside agent, he's taken his job too seriously. I mean, he could have killed Shibata.
Yeah, 100%. It's too much. Like, he needs to cool it, and by cooling it, he needs to go away. That's what. So please, Darby Allin, if you do, would you do the honors? Like, make sure he, just get rid of him. Just take the head of the snake, which is Jon Moxley, and we'd be done with it. Take a love. I swear that Jon Moxley hasn't had that vacation since he was called back after CM Punk got injured. I'm pretty sure he's been on TV ever since.
He did. He took one. He took a 2 months one. Right before the Death Riders. That's when he repackaged himself.
Yep, New Japan. After versus Naito.
That's not a vacation.
Yeah. No. He dropped the title. He dropped the IWGP title, then took 2 months off before the Death Rider stuff.
Oh, that felt like two days. That did not feel long. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, when he returned, I was honestly like, I forgot he'd been away because it felt like so short. The Phenomenal Ace, right, says this. This is why AEW gets the criticism they get every week. All the no-sells and lack of consistency. I'm actually going to disagree with this comment because, yes, in this specific case we're talking about, with the Jon Moxley being set on fire, completely right. But compared to 2019, 2020, 2021, they are a million times better with this stuff now. They're really consistent. The selling's 10 times better than it was. But yeah, this is a bad example, but this is now one of those rare situations compared to back in the day where it was very, very regular. Donnie says Stat turned down the Death Riders and the crowd seemed indifferent. I mean, again, I do think they're just waiting for the story to end. But Des, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I gotta say, my timing on stuff is really bad because I was watching it and I was texting the group chat. I'm like, this is it. Stat's gonna turn, and it didn't happen. Like, I really got to stop calling stuff out, man. I have a really bad tendency with that. It's just not going with the way in the universe right now. But the match itself between Statlander and Mina, it was pretty good. It was a fun match. They have great chemistry together. I got to say, Stat definitely, I wonder what's going to happen next, right? Because with the whole Death Rider storyline, you're always wondering, like, okay, this is going to end. Oh, wait, no. After Hangman, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I'm with you guys. I just want this to end. Like, could this end at Wrestle Dream, right? I like the Death Rider's presentation. I love the song. I like the characters. But this has just been running on way too long. We're approaching a year at this point. And I feel like this entire year, the whole buildup, I feel like after Hangman won, they should have just cut the Death Riders there. Have Mox take time off and then come back. Because that's like the ultimate send-off, right? The faction, the Death Riders, they're terrorizing AEW. And the unspoken hero, the main character, Hangman, takes them out and wins. I get the whole thing with Darby too, because I thought Darby was originally going to end the Death Riders, and maybe that's still on the table. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm ready for the storyline to end, and I wonder what's happening with Stat too.
I will disagree with you on the Hangman part purely because, again, this storyline started with Darby Allin and it never had a conclusion. So I do think he needs to be the one to end it. But it's just like that needs to come now. Like, that needs to be, Moxley's lost the title, let's wrap up the Derby thing, then let's end the Death Riders, everywhere goes their original ways, and that way, it can work out.
I feel like AEW is just desperate to have their own version of the Bloodline or the Judgment Day, just this one dominant faction. But it just hasn't been done well. You know, there was a bit of intrigue at the beginning, you know, with Jon Moxley doing all the cryptic promos and whatnot. And then when everyone found out, oh wait, Shane McMahon ain't coming to AEW. Okay, I'm not interested now. You know what I mean? It was one of them. So yeah, it was. But it definitely needs to end. You know, aside they're beating a dead horse.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to quickly read out this comment by the Phenomenal Ace. They've improved, but 2021 AEW was peak. You can't beat that.
Because of CM Punk. That's why.
I'm biased because of that.
Here's the thing. The reason 2021 AEW was so good was for two reasons. One, WWE was in a rough place. Secondly, crowds had just come back. And thirdly, all of these returns. It was not just CM Punk. It was CM Punk, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, and tons more people as well. Tony Storm too. It was one after one after one. Almost every month you're getting a new debut or return. And the fact is that was unsustainable. But genuinely, go back and watch a weekly episode of that now back then compared to now. Right now, the product week to week is better, even though obviously the surprises aren't as good. But you can't long-term survive on surprises. You just can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. But man, 2021 AEW, I'm biased in a way because All Out was the first ever like non-WWE program I ever saw. So when I saw I was hooked. I was so hooked, man. I was watching the product. So I understand why he says that. But I agree. It is better week to week now than back then, because before it was just, you had surprises every week, right? Christian, Swerve, and not surprises, debuts. Just you had a bunch of people, not even on pay-per-views, on Dynamite, right? You had Jokers, Keith Lee, you had Ruby Soho, right? Names and names and names and names on top. Then you had Kenny versus Danielson versus Hangman, Punk versus MJ. Like, you had so many
and
things.
Those had no stories. That was no story.
Well, the Punk MJF one did, but the other ones, yeah, you're right.
It was, and it was refreshing. It was something. It was a new kid on the block, and it was just a breath of fresh air. That's what it was. And yeah, it was a great time. It was the perfect time to happen.
I agree, because WWE was awful, man. It was really bad.
Oh yeah.
Say says in the chat that 2021 looks like a nostalgia bass to me looking back at it.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's realistically what it is. And don't get me wrong, like I said, the highs were high. I'm not disregarding that, but just consistently, the product is better, I think, now compared to then.